Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be decorating my Switch case. This is a brand new Switch that I just got for my birthday. My birthday was actually March 25th, but my older brother got it for me on March 24th as a surprise. The only game I've been playing on here is Animal Crossing, and frankly, I am addicted to it. I cannot stop playing it. I've been playing it every single day, except yesterday, which was when I painted my Switch case. I didn't play it, sadly. As you can see here, I am attempting to paint a sunflower onto my case, and since the case is clear and the surface isn't very sticky, I guess, the paint doesn't stay on it very well. It is acrylic paint, and so as you can see, one layer is not going to cut it. So I'm just adding one large sunflower, and then I'm going to put two small sunflowers as little accent decorations, I guess you could say. Now I am adding the second coat of yellow paint, and it looks a lot better with the second coat. It's not as see-through, and since this is acrylic paint and it is on plastic, I'm going to have to seal it in with Mod Podge because it can be scraped off very easily. You're going to see throughout the video when I make small mistakes, I just scratch them off and they just come right off. And we don't want that to happen to the actual art. Right now I'm trying to add shading and shadow and value to the sunflower to make it look realistic, and I thought I was really doing something, but it turned out ugly. So I dabbed off the wet paint with a paper towel, and now I'm just going to paint over the whole entire thing all over again. I'm just going to use a yellow mixed with a little bit of red. I'm just going to paint over that whole entire mess. What a waste of time. Now I have to wait for this new paint to dry. Now that it's all dry, I'm going over it with yellow once again, since this is like, I don't know, the fourth layer of paint. The yellow is pretty vibrant, which is good, I suppose. I'm trying to be more careful my second time around so I don't repeat the same mistakes as I did the first time around, which was disastrous, and I don't want this to be a huge, big, clumpy mess of paint on my Switch case. I want it to be delicate and pretty. That's the look I'm going for. Now that paint is mostly dry, I looked up some Pinterest pictures on sunflowers, and I noticed that some paintings have background petals, and I was like, oh, it looks really good with background petals. I should add some. So this is me adding some background petals. I wanted to make them a little bit darker because they are in the background, and the brighter petals are in front of them, casting shadow on them. And I decided to add background petals as well to the smaller sunflowers, which was a little bit difficult, but I had a really small paintbrush handy, so it was doable. Since I've been playing mostly Animal Crossing on my Switch and I've become pretty addicted, I decided to make a Twitch account and just film myself playing Animal Crossing. My username is Soft Streams with Isabel, and in between each word there's an underscore. So if you want to watch me play Animal Crossing on my Switch, just hop on Twitch and maybe I'll be on there. So now in the video I am currently trying to add some shadow with a brown to the petals of the sunflower. I'm trying to be more careful this time around, and I want it to look blended, but I don't want to repeat the disaster that happened last time, so I'm trying to be more careful. I have the colors already pre-blended on my palette, and I'm using the smaller paintbrush. I was using the larger one last time and that didn't end well. So now I'm using the smaller paintbrush to be more precise instead of just globbing paint together and hoping for the best. And if I do say so myself, it looks a lot better this time around. It did help that I looked up sunflowers on Pinterest, so the key to this, kids, is to always use references. I wanted to paint something yellow on my Switch because it's blue and I thought the yellow would contrast really nice on the blue, and also my friend's favorite color is yellow. And to that friend, Anna, if you're watching this right now, can you please stop listening for just a second? I want to say something, but it's supposed to be a surprise for you, so... Alright. Hopefully she's not listening anymore. I just wanted to say that I want to get her a Switch for her birthday. I want to get her a yellow Switch and a clear case like mine. And then I want to paint some blue flowers on that clear case on her yellow Switch and give it to her so we can play Animal Crossing together. That's all. Just had to yawn really quick. I thought the background petals weren't quite dark enough. They didn't seem like they were too much in the background, so I was adding some more brown to them to make them not pop, I guess you could say. I wanted them to look more like the petals that were lighter were casting shadows on them. I also added some highlight to the large yellow petals to make them stand out more. This is the moment of truth when I'm adding the large black dot in the center. This is the part where if I mess up, it's over because it's black paint on yellow, and that's very noticeable. On the reference pictures I saw, in order to make the black middle of the sunflower not look flat, they would add, little specks of highlight because that's where the pollen would be. So I decided to do that as well, and it turned out really well. It definitely did give it more dimension, I'll say that's for sure. It doesn't look as flat. I thought with the 3 sunflowers I was still missing something, so I decided to add some green leaves, and I think that made it a lot better. It made it a lot cuter. The leaves were a good touch. I wanted to add leaves like I am to the small sunflowers to the bigger sunflower, but I couldn't because it was so big that the leaves would have to be really big and they would get in the way of the smaller sunflowers. So I decided to only put leaves on the small sunflowers, and since I wanted more green in there, I decided to make leaves kind of floating around as if they were falling from a tree nearby. The thing about that, though, is if there are leaves falling, you assume it's a little bit windy, and none of the sunflower petals are falling. So after I paint the leaves, I decided to also go in with a little bit of yellow and add some petals fluttering around everywhere to make it look kind of like the wind is blowing around a bunch of sunflower petals and their leaves, and it's just like falling everywhere and making it look all pretty and bright and stuff. Some of the leaves I tried to do kind of like a weirdly shaped figure 8 thing to make it look like they're in the middle of twisting and bending and stuff. It worked pretty well with one of them, but like the one right underneath the words Nintendo Switch looks really messed up. But I just left it. Now I'm trying to add shadow to the leaves to give them a little bit more dimension. Or to the petals, I mean. I also try to add some shadow to the leaves in just a second. I wish I had more vibrant colors with the acrylics. I only have a limited amount. Like for the yellow, I wanted to make it more vibrant, a little more orange, so I tried to mix some red into it, but it just turned into a pink color. Now with a darker green, I'm going to add shadow to the leaves, and adding the shadow was easy and difficult. I'm basically just tracing the shadows that are already being casted by the leaves, if you can tell. But since I'm doing that, the color I'm using is basically the same color as the shadow, so I can't really tell when I'm painting and when I'm not painting, if that makes sense. Like I can't tell when my paintbrush is touching the Switch and painting the shadows on it, compared to if it's just not doing anything, the actual shadows there and my eyes are just playing tricks on me. I'm adding shadow around the petals of the sunflowers as well, because I also wanted them to have dimension. I'm using green to create the shadows of the sunflowers instead of brown, because I figured the shadows are being casted onto a blue object, and so they wouldn't be brown. They would just be a darker blue. So in this case, I used green to mimic those shadows. I thought it turned out really well. It gives it really nice dimension. Sorry if I'm repeating a bunch of words a lot. This is my first time doing a voiceover and I don't really know what to say. I'm just watching the video right now and talking about the stuff that goes through my head as I'm watching myself paint. At that moment, I created some shadow on the leaves with brown on that smaller sunflower at the bottom. And then I realized it doesn't look good because, using the same logic as the shadows casted on the Switch being just a darker blue, because the base color is blue, I had to wait until it dried and go back over it with the green, so the shadows look realistic. And that was a good choice. Wow, my head is just in the frame. I tried my best to keep my head and my hair out of the frame, but obviously I wasn't as successful as I thought I was. Now I'm just layering on the light green on the leaves so that it doesn't look patchy. And on the petals, I don't want it to look super streaky and patchy and stuff. Sorry I keep yawning, I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep, I want to take a nap. I have work tomorrow. I just decided to add some smaller accent petals and leaves, so it's not just the big ones that are in the frames. And yeah, I decided to put shadow on all of them. That was me trying to show you my phone. Oh, and this is when I messed up. I forgot that I wanted to trace them with my pen and then go in with Mod Podge, so I had to stop the video for a second, trace everything with my pen, and then come back and go over it with Mod Podge. Luckily, the first time I went over it with Mod Podge, I didn't go over any of the leaves or petals, so I guess it wasn't too bad. I like how it looks after I've traced everything. Oh, and that was me on TikTok. I made a TikTok of me painting this. So now I'm sealing everything in with Mod Podge so that it doesn't scrape off. The acrylic paint doesn't scrape off of the plastic case. I was really surprised that the pen didn't smudge everywhere while I was going over everything with Mod Podge. It's a really nice pen. The Mod Podge also makes the acrylic shinier instead of matte, and it makes the colors more vibrant, which I really liked because I wanted the yellow of that sunflower to really stand out against the blue of the Switch. And before you guys wonder about the grip, if the Mod Podge affected the grip of the case and the Switch, it didn't affect the grip. It's still fine for me to hold and play with. It's not extra slippery now or anything. And I got a little bit of Mod Podge on my Switch itself. Probably should have taken it out of the case. This is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I took forever trying to make this and paint this, which is why I'm tired now. I didn't get to sleep as much, but I'm really, really proud of how it turned out. It was very fun to customize my Switch, and hopefully I'll be on Twitch playing Animal Crossing, and I'll be back on YouTube making more art videos and Switch videos and Animal Crossing videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching.